I'm not, if I'm not completely mistaken, then there's like a competition element to the Friday foursome by Novabug. I'll try to keep up with them. But it's Wednesday now, and I think next Friday's it'll be 2 weeks ago since the last one. So, but the competition means we can't really win anything, can you? No, not that I know of. But I don't really want to be in the competition. I think if you want to win the thing, you get the most likes. You have to be first. You have to have your video up longer than the rest. So I'm coming in really late, and on purpose. Gaming regrets. I have a couple. Just had a quick think about it just now. And you know, I try to go in a different direction with these answers. I think a while ago I did a video response to Infected Flinch, Dave, and one of the questions was sort of the same. And I guess basically one of my gaming regrets is selling stuff. In general, I mean, I could make a gaming regret out of everything that I sold, and I'd have 4 without even having to think about it. But if I just put them all together, you know, my video pack, my Commodore 64, all my Game & Watch games, everything I had basically. All the original stuff that I had, I traded away or I sold, and I got stuff in return, probably money or other useless devices that I threw away without even remembering them. So that's one thing I regret. I could have kept them, but I'm also sure that at the time I was really fed up with the stuff, and it wasn't valuable to me. And you know, what do you do with stuff that you don't value anymore? And now it's different, and it's taught me something. The stuff that I have now, I look at and think, you know, I could do without, and I'm maybe fed up with it, but I don't throw it away anymore, because I know that there's a chance that there might be a moment that I may want to have it again. I did give up the old PC hardware, though. I had some old PCs, and I don't worry about that stuff. I just throw it away. I used to have my original PC for the longest time sitting in the attic here. You know, it wasn't even capable of connecting to the internet. It didn't even, I mean, TCP/IP wasn't even an option on it, so... And a PC without internet connection is useless. I had an old Dell, which was basically my third PC, which had an old Windows version, and technically it could make an internet connection. It was no problem. I think it had Windows 98 on it. Come to think of it. So it was connecting to the internet, no problem. But it couldn't install any recent browser, not even Google Chrome or Firefox or whatever. And so I could still not do much or of anything on the internet, so it was useless again. So no, I don't get old PCs just to look at them. No, Anyway, gaming regret one is throwing stuff away, the old gaming stuff. Now, second, when I was in high school, or what, our equivalent of that, I knew I liked games. I mean, this was after, no, after, during, at the end of my my Commodore 64 days. There was a computer club in my school. They had their own room. There were computers there that I didn't know what they were. They were either very early PCs or maybe even BBC Micros. I can't really remember. I knew it was there. I knew some of the guys in there. And for some reason, it didn't occur to me that I could have been a member of that club. If any of you remember my story about Fuckman, that Commodore 64 game, one of the guys who was in that club wrote that game. I think his name was Patrick. I could have been in that club, and I think I should have been. If I'd been given that opportunity now, I would have taken it. That's what I tell my daughter. If she gets an opportunity like that, something that you like, go for it. And I hesitated, and I thought, well, I don't know these people, so I won't do it. I should have done that. So second regret, and that may not sound like a gaming regret, but computers and gaming were the same to me at that moment. I hadn't seen a PC yet, and this was the new thing. I can remember my first time, our mathematics class turned to using computers, and I saw a PC, and I didn't get it. It was DOS, so there was no graphical interface, and I had to use commands, get the directory and stuff, and whole new world, I was fascinated by it, but it was different from games. Now, my third regret, I suppose, this was the time shortly after the video game crash, right? So this was also the time that I sort of said goodbye to games. Commodore 64, it was sort of done. I didn't use it. I sold my Commodore. I was interested in PCs, but not for gaming reasons. The video game industry was gone, so the arcades were sort of downsizing or removing their video games, and we were getting more pinball machines and slot machines. So it was sort of going downhill anyway. But in the background, of course, Nintendo was coming back. We had the NES as well. I just didn't care about it. But this was also the time that I left high school and had to choose a career. You have to choose what you're going to do. You're 16 or 17, and you have to make this big choice. And I knew I liked games. I knew I liked gaming. And I knew I liked computers. So my regret at that moment is that I wasn't honest with myself, and I should have said I want to get into gaming. Now that would have been difficult at that point. I don't think we had any game development companies, but I didn't even look. I said that I wanted to do something with computers, so I studied computer science, which was to me still the closest thing. But I should have been in gaming. I could have been, if I really wanted to. I could have been in gaming at that point, and I didn't. So I've had a couple of opportunities that I passed on. I passed on. That I let go. I should have taken them. Gaming regret number 3. I should have my career should have been gaming. Or it could have been, at least. That's a regret. But I won't gripe about it. It's never too late to change. It's never too late to do what you like. I think you have an obligation to yourself to do what you like every day. Every day. You have to find something generally that agrees with you, that excites you, and that's what you have to do. And I see way too many people on Facebook dumping on the day. I hate Monday. I'm having a bad day. I'm meeting a bad person there. I unfollow people that do that on Facebook because I don't enjoy it. Oh, and if I have, I had to come up with another gaming regret. And I was thinking, is it all the games that I bought? Most of the stuff behind me, I'm probably never going to play. And I found Elite Dangerous. It's the game that I'm playing now. I found it to be so exciting and so immersive, and it's giving me so much fun and happiness that none of the games around me have given me. So I could say that I regret buying all of this, but then, if I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have been in the community like I am now, and that I don't regret. On the contrary. So my last regret, to match it up with the rest that I've seen, and I regret buying the Wii U like I did. And that's not to say that I regret having the Wii U, because I think it's a good system. I think it's an underrated system. I think that the game library for it is too small. But I also think that will be corrected in the future. So I'm glad to have it, but I got it too soon. I did get it secondhand, but I could have gotten it cheaper, and I didn't do that. I bought it to play Mario Kart 8 solely on the hype that I saw around me, and I had fun with it, but it was only for a short time, and now I have a Wii U. I just have another system to buy games for. On the other hand, all the games that I have for the Wii U are new games, so I'm actually experiencing the Wii U the way it is supposed to be experienced. Retro gaming makes it possible to own a large chunk of the game library because you can get the stuff cheap. The PS2 is easy to have hundreds of games for the PS2. But it also warps your vision. You have so many games you don't know what to play. If the games are so hard to come by, like they used to be, because they were so expensive when you were a kid, you only had 2 or 3 games, and you rented the rest. That's the way it was supposed to be. Is maybe the wrong word, but that's the way that you appreciate the games that you have more. And I have an opportunity to enjoy the Wii U the way, in that way. But the regret is still that I got it as a new system, and I paid a little too much for it, and so I shouldn't have done that. That's a minor regret. Now, I don't regret my career. I don't. It could have been different, and I probably should have been more honest with myself. But that doesn't mean that I'm unhappy with what I do now or with the path that's behind me. I've done many things. I've done many cool things, and it's made me what I am today. And that's it. And if I die tomorrow, I'll look back on having done many things that I wanted to do, and I'm happy with that. But if Chris asks you, what's your gaming regret, then you have to think something up. So that's it. That's my entry. I'm editing and uploading on the Wednesday, so it'll probably be up on Thursday morning, which will be just in time for the Friday roundup, and then there'll be another Friday foursome, and I wonder what that will be. So that's it. I'm just finished downloading the new Elite Dangerous update 1.2, and I'm gonna try it out. See if I can buy a vulture. Elite's great. Can't stop talking about it. Well, see you guys. See you next time. I'm almost done with my candy. Who gave this to me? I can't remember. It's still not finished. Oh, the other ones too, the blue one. Not finished. Don't worry. I'll get there. Oh! If you're still around, I bought Far Cry 4. Another one off the list. I have the entire Far Cry library now. It cost me $25. Which is, well, if I'd waited, could have gotten it cheaper, but there it is. I'll do another video on it. Or not, I don't know. Bye!